name's Kyle Golding, and this is Conversations with the Golding Group. I'm here today with Pritch Pritchard, APR and PRSA Fellow. We're going to talk about strategic communication planning. So Pritch, why is it important for your communication to work cohesively all together?
Well, it's like having a car where something on it doesn't work exactly right. It's not working to its peak efficiency. And what we're talking about here really, all of the pieces, all of the channels, all of the messages being integrated and working from one common core. Introspection, I think, is part of that. It's the piece that a lot of people don't like to talk about, don't like to pay for. It's called research. And if you don't have research, if you don't understand exactly why you're doing what you're doing from a very strategic level, then things aren't going to work as well as they could.
Research lets you have a well-informed decision-making process, right?
Absolutely. If you don't have the research, you're guessing. And if in this business environment, if it was ever possible, you can't guess.
So what are the things you look for? What are the keys? What are the elements that you feel like you need when you put together a complete brand message communication strategy?
Yeah, well, one of the first things is you need to understand exactly what the core competency is for the organization and understand mission and vision and the business objectives, because all of this is for naught if it's not pointed directly at the business objectives.
Right. Yeah. It's all about growth and revenue, right?
Absolutely.
Because if you're not making money, then you're just a hobby.
You're a nonprofit, and even they have to make expenses.
Right. So, Pritch, in your professional opinion, what are the elements that go into making a well-defined strategic communication plan?
Well, I think the first step is that the organization needs to understand itself. And I know that sounds silly, but and maybe counterintuitive, because I understand my business, but sometimes they don't. And in my experience, there are some disconnects as we drill down into that.
And sometimes they're not really good at being honest about what their true strengths and weaknesses are, especially on the weakness side.
And that happens. Over time, your core competency starts here, and then you grow and you evolve, and all of a sudden you find
market changes.
Right. All of a sudden you find your core competency over here out of balance with your mission. So step one is really sitting down with the client, understanding and helping them understand what it is that they do, and building out from there. And step two then is the research, and nobody likes to pay for research, but if you don't have the research, you're just guessing, and we can't guess.
And that's research for them, for the market, for competition, for government sanctions, for laws, for anything that's going to affect the business, right?
Exactly.
You're putting all that information in front of you before you make the execution decisions further down the road, right?
Exactly, absolutely. Internal factors, external factors, which includes legislation. I think one of the most important pieces of that research is drilling down and truly understanding your target stakeholders. We only have X amount of resources that we can put against something, so we really need to understand and prioritize who it is that we're going to be building a relationship with.
Whether it's economics or energy, effort, right?
Absolutely.
Bandwidth of human capital.
Absolutely.
You only are focused on primary and secondary customers, right? Everyone else, you got to let go and just focus on the people most likely to engage your business, right?
Exactly. And you can have, two secondary targets, but the most important is what you said about the primary target stakeholder is the one we want to
And you
go
define those primary and secondary in this process, in the communication strategy.
Absolutely.
Right?
And beyond demographics, with the facts, we like to drill down into the socio-economic, the groups, the psychological kind of mindset, attitudes, beliefs, concerns, values. Those are the things that we're really drilling down into.
And that information gives you a ton of power to actually communicate in a really highly effective way.
Absolutely. Everything is tied to that understanding. Your goals and objectives have to be tied back to that, which of course all have to lead to your business objectives, because otherwise we're just kind of spinning our wheels.
And then the final piece is measurement, right?
Absolutely. You've built that, what you're going to measure. You define success in the planning stages. Now you have to go back and see how well you did. Did we actually achieve what we wanted to achieve? It's not that difficult or onerous if you've done a good job up front, but that's why you have to spend so much time up front with the planning.
There you have strategic communication planning.
Bam. Thank you.